Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, and in this video we are going to talk about one of the ratio that you can use in your fundamental analysis. So kung technical trader kayo, then basically ang ginagamit nyo is pure chart, diba? So hindi kayo gumagamit ng mga ratio analysis and then fundamental analysis. So itong video na to para dun sa mga tao na gumagamit ng fundamental analysis for their investing. And ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is yung ating price to book ratio. And sa next video natin, ang pag-uusapan natin yung ating earnings per share. Okay, and by the way, itong price to book ratio dapat hindi nyo siya gamitin alone. Kasi itong price to book ratio natin, ginagamit lang dito yung ating net assets. So that means yung ating balance sheet lang yung kinoconsider dito sa ratio analysis na ito. Hindi na ko consider dito yung ating income statement, lalo na yung ating earnings and then yung ating potential earnings. And dapat natin siya i-combine dun sa ating earnings per share. So, unahin natin itong price to book ratio. Okay, and by the way, alamin muna natin kung ano yung formula nitong price to book ratio. And from the word itself, price to book. So, market price per share over the book value per share. So, dun galing yung word na price to book ratio, di ba? Or alternatively, you can use yung ating market capitalization over yung ating total book value. Whereas yung ating book value will be yung ating total assets ng isang company minus yung kanilang total liabilities. Okay? So, assuming wala na silang mga preferred shares and etc. Diba? So, ayan yung simple terms dito. So, book value will be total assets minus total liabilities. Okay, and what affects the book value? So, ano nga ba yung nakapagpa-increase or nakapagpa-decrease nitong ating book value per share? Yung ating kasing book value per share nung current year ngayon, will be the sum of the previous year book value per share plus yung ating earnings per share, and then it will be adjusted by other equity transactions such as dividends and then other comprehensive income or other comprehensive losses. And by the way, kung wala tayo other equity transactions, then basically yung ating book value will be affected lang by the earnings per share, or kung loss per share yan, so minus yung ating loss per share. So dito sa ating mga factors affecting yung ating book value, makukonclude nyo dito na kapag ka yung isang company is continuously incurring losses sa kanilang operations, yung kanilang book value will decline over time. Okay, so ayun yun. Kapag ka naman ang isang company is continuously earning, so maganda yung earnings per share niya, then basically yung book value ng isang company will increase over time. So ganun yun. And kapag ka naman ang isang company is less than 1 yung ating price over book value, so hindi siya automatically na undervalued. Kasi yung mga investor sometimes pinaperceive na yung isang company na to ay maglolos to sa future. So basically, pina-price in na nila yung loss sa future. So yung ating price over book value is sometimes less than 1 kasi napaprice in na yung loss that will be incurred by the company in the future. So do not automatically assume na kapag ka less than 1 yung ating price to book ratio is undervalued na yung isang company. Okay? And then meron tayong example dito. So para ma-appreciate nyo. So for example, dito sa unang example natin, consider na yung isang company is profitable. So meron siyang previous year na book value per share na 1 peso. And then, yung earnings per share niya during the current year is 0.5, and then nag-declare siya ng dividends per share. So yung dividends, minaminus natin siya sa book value kasi itong dividends to para binalik ng company yung a portion of your investment. So basically, yung book value ng iyong investment will reduce, di ba? So ayun ang ating current book value per share from this given na 1 pesos na book value per share plus yung ating 0.5 na earnings per share minus yung ating dividends per share na 0.25, makukuha natin yung current book value natin for this year na 1.25. So ayun, kapag ka nag-earn yung isang company, lumalaki yung ating book value. And then what if naman kapag ka loss yung isang company? So yung ating previous year book value, so 1 pesos pa rin, and then kunwari may loss yung company na 0.25 pesos per share. Then basically yung ating book value will be 0.75. So nakita nyo nag-decrease yung ating book value from 1 peso down to 0.75. So ayun yung kapag ka loss yung isang company, then magdi-decrease yung ating book value. Okay? And then how to use naman itong price to book ratio. Itong price to book ratio can be used as indication. So, when we say indication, it does not automatically guarantee na ito yung mangyayari or undervalued yung isang stock or overvalued yung isang stock. So, for example, di ba sa technical analysis, meron din tayong mga indicator like yung moving average na lang, di ba? Yung moving average, it tells us kung saan possible na papunta yung price action. Pero it does not automatically assure na dun pupunta yung price, di ba? So, it's an indicator. So, it may be right or wrong. That's why you also need to consider other things. Okay, and ang disadvantage ng paggamit nitong price to book ratio, it does not consider yung earnings ng company, 'di ba? Sabi ko nga kanina itong book value natin, ang kino-consider lang nito is yung total assets minus yung total liability. So hindi nito kino-consider yung ating income statement balances, lalo na yung earnings per share ng isang company or yung kanilang potential na earnings per share. Okay, and ito yung meaning ng mga price over book value ratio natin. Kapag yung price over book value ratio ng isang company is less than the industry average, we can say na it is undervalued. Pero you also need to consider other things such as yung unrealized gains ng isang company na nirecognize sa financial statements ng company na yun. Kasi may mga nakikita akong companies na nagre-recognize nung unrealized gains nila dun sa income statement nila. Then basically, that unrealized gain will become part of the equity. And ayun, dahil doon, lumalaki yung book value nung company na yon. Pero yung earnings kasi na yon is coming from the unrealized gains. So later, papakita ko sa inyo yung some of the companies that has unrealized gains. Although it is allowed under the accounting standard, pero di ba, bibili ka ba ng isang company na puro unrealized gains lang, di ba? Ayun. Okay, yung next naman natin, kapag ang price over book value ratio natin is greater than the industry average, then we can say na overvalued yung isang company. Pero other things to consider kasi baka naman maganda yung future ng isang company and pinaperceive ng mga investors na makakahabol yung book value per share natin dun sa current market price, di ba? Ayun yung possible na indicator nito. Okay. And then where do we get the values para makalculate itong ating price to book ratio? So basically, it is available through the Investa app. So meron doon na price to book ratio or makukuha nyo rin siya sa broker. Pero kung gusto nyo i-manual, so makukuha nyo yung mga data dito, yung ating market price or market capitalization, makukuha nyo siya, it's either sa Investa or sa broker or sa PSE Edge. And then yung book value per share, makukuha nyo rin siya sa PSE Edge. And then yung industry average, makukuha nyo siya sa inyong broker. So yung broker ko, COL Financial, so meron sila dong summary ng industry average. And then yung price to book ratio, ito available siya sa Investa app and then broker. So, papakita ko sa inyo kung paano kinukuha itong market price or saan kinukuha itong market price and market capitalization. Okay, so punta tayo sa PSE Edge. So, ito yung example natin, si SM Investments Corporation. So, ang una natin kukunin yung ating current market price or yung ating current market capitalization. So, pindutin nyo lang ito sa PSE Edge, yung company name, and then click nyo yung stock data. And dito makukuha nyo yung ating last traded price. Ito yung current market price. So, sa PSE Edge. And then, makukuha nyo rin dito yung ating market capitalization. So, ito, 1.23 trillion. Okay. And then, yung book value per share, available din siya dito sa PS Edge. Click nyo lang tong financial reports. And then, hanapin nyo dito sa baba yung ating latest. So, ito, quarterly. For the period ended September 30, 2020. Ito yung book value per share niya. 323.65. Okay, so yung industry average, punta lang kayo sa inyong broker. So, punta tayo sa COL Financial. Click nyo lang itong research, fundamentals, and then investment guide. So dito, hanapin natin si SM. So si SM, kabilang siya sa conglomerates na industry. So ito, meron siyang price over book value yung ating industry na average na 1.3. So doon nyo makukuha yung ating price over book value ng industry. Okay, and then itong sa price to book ratio actually, available siya sa ating Investa app. So papakita ko sa inyo kung saan siya kinukuha. So punta lang kayo sa Investa app nyo and then search nyo yung company natin. So si SM, search natin si SM. And then, punta tayo sa fundamental. So, pindutin nyo yung analysis, and then fundamental, and then makikita nyo dito yung ating price over book value ratio. So, ito So, pakita ko sa inyo. So, makikita nyo dyan ito. So, P over BV. So, 3.09. So, 3.0867 yung kompleto. So, 3.09 yung kanyang price over book value na ratio. So, makukuha nyo naman siya sa Investa app. Ayun, makakapag-save na kayo ng time kaysa kunin nyo pa isa-isa yung data, diba? So, i-analyze nyo na lang kung paano gagamitin yung 3.09 na price to book ratio ni SM, diba? So, mag-a-analyze na lang kayo, hindi na kayo mag-compute. Okay? Okay, so meron tayong mga example dito para ma-appreciate nyo. So, nandito yung mga holding firms natin, yung mga top holding firms natin, nakabilang sa mga blue chips. So, nandito si SM, Ayala Corporation, JGS, and then si LTG. Okay, yung pinakita ko sa inyo industry average kanina, 'di ba, 1.3. So ayun, doon na makuha yung kay COL Financial or sa broker nyo. And then dito kasi naglalagay ako ng margin of error kasi yung 1.3, 'di ba, parang one number lang siya. Mas preferred ko na range siya, 'di ba, para may allowance ako, 'di ba? So nandito 20% yung nilalagay ko. So 1.04 to 1.56, I consider that stock as fairly valued kapag ka nasa gitna siya ng range. Kapag ka naman less than siya dun sa range, it will be tagged as undervalued. And then kapag ka naman more than siya dun sa range, it will be tagged as overvalued. So kung makikita nyo dito, si SM meron siyang 3.09 na price over book value ratio. And then I can say na this stock is overvalued. So, pero hindi naman kasi necessarily na overvalued siya, hindi na ako mag-i-invest dito. Kasi ito si SM, it is one of the favorites of the foreign, di ba? Kasi ito si SM, di ba? Parang pang world class yung kanyang company, di ba? And maganda talaga yung governance itong company na to. Kaya maybe that's why yung ating price over book value ratio is malayo dun sa ibang conglomerates natin, di ba? So, ayan, si Ayala Corporation dito, yung pangalawa. So, 1.3 industry average and then within the range naman yung kanyang price over book value ratio. So, I can say na this stock is fairly valued. Same goes with JGS na meron siyang 1.45 na price over book value ratio. And then, I can say that this stock is fairly valued. And then, pagdating kay LTG, ang kanyang price over book value lang is 0.60. So, I can say na this stock is undervalued. Pero syempre, pag-aaralan ko pa rin to si LTG kasi baka it is being undervalued for a reason. So, titingnan ko yung financial statements ni LTG, ano yung mga binebenta niya, and then ano yung mga possible na economic factors na makaka-apekto sa kanyang net income. So, ayun yung mga kinoconsider ko kapag ginagamit ko tong price to book value na ratio. Okay? And then, meron ako ditong reminder, so don't fall into the price over book value trap. So, when you see na dun sa Investa app natin, meron kasi dito ilang mga stocks na talagang undervalued kung titingnan nyo yung price over book value ratio. So, para ma-attract kayo na, uy, undervalued itong stock na to, mabili nga to. So, do not automatically buy a stock because that is undervalued based on the price over book value ratio. So, also consider yung potential earnings ng company na yon. So, do not automatically buy, okay? And then, some companies rin kasi have significant unrealized gains which increases their book value. So, after this slide, papakita ko sa inyo yung some of the companies na nagre-recognize ng unrealized gains, lalo na dun sa kanilang mga investment properties, which increases yung kanilang retained earnings and then basically yung kanilang book value. And then, it is allowed naman per accounting standard. Pero yun nga lang, gusto mo bang bumili na isang company because of its unrealized gains? Or gusto mo bumili ng isang company dahil talagang undervalued siya? So, ayun yung tanong mo sa sarili mo, di ba? Kasi ikaw naman yung mag-i-invest. And then, how do we avoid this price over book value na trap? So, simply scan the financial statements. Kasi doon makikita mo pa lang kung ano yung pinakamalaking nagko-contribute do sa net income ng isang company. Okay? So, later papakita ko din naman sa inyo. And then, ito, meron tayo ditong note. So, remember, price is always king. So, regardless kung ginagamit mo dito is technical or fundamental analysis, always follow the price. Not necessarily kasi na fundamental analysis yung ginagamit mo, wala ka ng entry point and then exit points, di ba? Dapat yan, tina-timing mo rin and dapat nagkakat ka rin kahit na fundamental analysis yung ginagamit mo, di ba? So, ayun, always follow the price. And then, ito yung ilan sa mga companies na nakita ko na nagre-recognize ng unrealized gains dun sa kanilang investment properties. So, isa-sensor na lang natin sila. So, this will be based on the financial statements alone. So, we are not hyping or bashing any stock here. So, yung mga analysis natin dito is based solely dun sa kanilang financial statements. So, si Company A, meron siyang price per share kahapon na 1.40. And then, ang book value per share niya based sa PSE Edge is 36.68. And meron siya, makikita nyo dito, yung price over book value ratio niya is 0.04. And then, compare natin sa industry na 1.90. So, makakonclude natin, di ba, na undervalued siya. Pero we need to see kung bakit siya undervalued sa kanilang financial statements. And then, si Company B naman, meron siya ditong price per share na 0.92. And then, book value per share na 3.25. And then, ang price over book value ratio niya is 0.28. And compared sa industry 1.3, so undervalued rin siya. So, are these companies really undervalued? So, let us see dun sa kanilang financial statements. So, ito si Company A, kung makikita nyo dito, so, yung kanilang income and then costs and expenses. Kung makikita nyo kasi dito pa lang sa income nila, makikita nyo na fair value gain on investment property. So, meron silang na-recognize na 3.26 billion last year. Eh, magkano lang yung income niya, di ba? So, 2.85 million last year plus other income na minimal na 460,000 lang, di ba? So, majority or talagang lahat ng income nitong company na to is coming from the fair value gain on investment property. So, are you going to invest on this company because of this fair value changes? So, ayun. So, consider nyo rin nyo kung mag-invest kayo, di ba? So, ayan, 3.26 billion. And yung kanyang net income is, magkano? Income before income tax. So, ito yung net income for the year niya. So, 2.27 billion. So, yung 3.26 billion, di ba? Kung tatanggalin mo yan, so loss ito si company na to, okay? And then ito naman si company B natin. So noong 2019 and 2018, so tingnan natin yung nangyari. So 2019, 2018 and 2017, meron siyang 414 million, 510 million and then 35 million na revenue. Okay, so ito revenue pa lang to. So gross revenue. And then kung makikita natin yung net income niya, so punta tayo sa net income. So makikita nyo dito ang net income niya is 628 million and then 3.3 billion. Tapos loss na 52 million, di ba? Kung titingnan mo yung revenue niya, 414 million tapos naging 628 million net income niya. Di ba lumaki pa? And then yung kanyang revenue noong 2018, 510 million, tapos biglang maging 3.3 billion, di ba? And then, itong kanyang income nitong 2017, so meron siyang 35 million, so ayun, nagka-loss naman siya. Okay, so that's natural. And kung makikita nyo kasi dito, yung majority ng kanilang income is coming from gain on fair value adjustments. Ayan, no, noong 2017, wala siyang fair value adjustment, kaya loss siya. Pero pagdating ng 2018, meron siyang 3.83 billion. So, that significantly increased yung ating book value per share, kaya siya naging undervalued. And then, dito naman, for 2019, meron siyang 426 million na valuation and then ang kanyang net income is 628 million. Diba? Kung tatanggalin mo yon, so meron pa namang income to si company kahit konti. Kung tatanggalin mo tong fair value adjustments nitong 2019. Pero noong 2018 kasi 3.3 billion yung na-recognize niya na income. So ayun, pumasok yung sa retained earnings and then basically sa ating book value per share. So ayun, tanong niyo yung sarili niyo kung gusto niyo mag-invest sa companies na gayon na meron siya mga fair value adjustments or gusto mo doon sa mga companies na pure na main line of business yung kanyang source of net income. So, ayun lang para sa ating price to book ratio. I hope may natutunan kayo sa video natin and kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe sa ating channel, so please click the subscribe button. Okay, and thank you!